Welcome to Haggerty Jones, and this is another good and true story. And this story actually happened to me in the first grade. I was part of a white family living in a black neighborhood, and I was constantly being terrorized, as were my siblings, by all these other black kids. At the school we were going to, at the playgrounds, wherever, supermarkets, it didn't matter. Okay, so in particular, there was this black kid named Louis, all right, and he tortured me every day. He would beat me up, he would take my lunch money, he would take my lunch food, he would push me around, he would urinate on me, that kind of thing. Louis had a little gang that he traveled with, right? His cadre, right? His cohorts. And Bernard, another little black kid, was his right-hand man. And then there were like 6 or 7 other little fucking Bernard Louis type characters, okay, that would also join in on, you know, beating me up and what have you. Now
fuck 'em up, kids, fuck 'em up.
Now my older sister Karen, she used to protect me every day. So that was one good thing that I could count on. But it wasn't much, because when she went to class and that class bell rang, I was completely screwed. I had every freaking day in the same room with Louis. But then something happened. For about a period of 7 days, 8 days, I wasn't being bothered. I didn't know why. It was like I was the card player on a high, catching a good wave of cards. You just don't question it, you go with it. Then one day, Mrs. Cook, our first grade teacher, wanted us to finger paint. She didn't want us wrecking the table, so she had us finger painting on the classroom floor. I had to get up to go to the back of the room to get supplies, and I fucking stepped on somebody's finger, and the whole classroom came to a halt as a result of this screeching, caterwauling, visceral, guttural, you know, first grader screaming out in agony, yeah! You know, because I stepped on his index finger. And whose index finger did I step on? Louis. I'm like, fuck! I've really done it now. I'm completely screwed, right? And I'm just like, shh. And he looks up at me with his index finger stepped on, and he goes, I'm going to get you out at recess. Oh, man, I knew that was just like a promise you could count on. You could bank on that one. So, and I'm like, fuck! This is the last thing I need. I can't get my sister. I don't know where she is. She protects me in the morning when we roll in on the buses. I'm fucking completely exposed and vulnerable. So recess comes around. The bell rings. I freaking run outside, okay? And I hide along the footprint of the building the entire recess period, which was a good thing to do because they didn't find me. And when the recess bell rang for everybody to go back inside, I'm walking again along the footprint of the building, and I'm coming around the home stretch here, baby. I'm going to make it inside the building to relative freedom and protection. I just got to get from the outside to the inside. So I'm coming around the corner of the building to go inside. There's like 10 feet to go around that corner. But like 8 little black kids with their little black heads up in the air, their little noses up, and they're all searching around, periscoping. And one of them swings around. It's that Bernard with his index finger trained right on me. He goes, there he is! How am I going to outrun? I don't care. Look, I don't care if I look racist. I'm not racist. I'm not. But some stereotypes are true. Black people can freaking run, dude. Man, oh man, it was fucking on. Okay, the Belmont. You know, it's like a horse race. I started running. Run, Keith, run! The middle school building, that part of the building that was exposed to this mobile fracas of black kids hunting down a white boy, was the music department. And my older brother Anthony was playing clarinet and band practice. And they're all tuning up their instruments, and somebody sitting next to my brother says, hey, look at that! Looking outside the window. Those black kids are chasing that white kid. And my brother goes, holy shit, that's my little brother. So these little black kids are chasing me, and I'm actually outrunning them. Probably because I'm so terrified, I have no alternative but to outrun them. So as I'm outrunning them, I could hear them right behind me. You know, their footfalls. You know, they're breathing. One kid actually, I think it was Bernard. Somebody at one point got their left hand reached out and their fingertips grazed my right shoulder. And I looked over and it was Bernard. And man, I fucking kicked it into overgear, dude, and I just took the fuck off and I outran him. Yeah, those were the days. So that's my story about Louis and Bernard. And I'm going to have to edit this take in with the first take because the first take was a lot better in some ways.